BDR Life, episode 0. Hey guys, hello and welcome to the BDR Life. My name is Peter Nakamura.
I'm Mark Gaudet.
And this is the podcast dedicated to achieving your best performance as a business development representative at Salesforce.com. Our goal is to help you destroy your monthly quota, drive sustainable high performance, and become the best BDR you can be. This week's episode, Mark is going to be taking us through the content of this podcast and the 6 main areas that we'll be talking. And he'll be sharing us on what you will get out of this podcast series as we go on to other episodes. But Mark, without further ado, let's pass it over to you.
Thanks, Peter, for the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be watching. This is the episode 0. So this is going to lay a foundation for what we hope will be able to be obtained by the end result of our very last episode here. I mean, the real goal that Peter and I did when we created this is we wanted to create something that would help all BDRs completely transform their role and completely reach their potential in their role. And so we've identified through speaking with top performers and through our experience as well, key areas which we think are topics of discussion that are worthy to be brought up and things that really need to be focused on if you're going to be successful in your role and successful in your promotion pathway, but just successful in achieving any sort of goals that you might have in your life. So I'm going to kick it off here and start off with number 1. I mean, really, number 1, vision and goal setting has got to be the foundation for all of these 6 stones right here, all these 6 points and concepts. And the reason for that being is that we can teach a number of techniques, we can teach a number of skills, but at the end of the day, people end up getting different results. And what does that really boil down to? Well, part of it boils down to, the vision and the goals that those people set, because, it's not just doing something, it's how you do something. And so what I want you guys to think about is think about the vision, the reason why you came into this company. Why did you join Salesforce? What did you hope becoming a BDR here would do for you in career-wise, or where you saw yourself in a few years? You joined and you felt good for a reason, and you wanted to work here for a really good reason. And so it's important to connect with that vision every single day and feel that when you're in the role, because every day, if you look at the actual action items you're doing, a lot of them are similar. A lot of the times we're making telephone calls, we're sending emails, we're having conversations with our AEs, we're trying to get something bumped to stage 2. It's a simple process, and it's easy to get in the wrong mindset and get bored of doing the things which are necessary for us to do our job well and set us up right for a promotion. So it's so important to come together with a vision and goal setting and connecting with that every single day, knowing why you are doing something and feeling that emotion, because you know that it's going to get you to where you want to go. So for example, when I take a look at this, I'm someone that likes to write my goal every single day. I write my long-term goals and my short-term goals. I write them in the morning before I come into work, my targets for the day, and then I do the same thing at the end of the day, writing my goals. And the reason why I do this is because it keeps me laser focused each and every day so that I execute all of my tasks with an extreme amount of focus to the best of my ability, and I'm able to feel good with every task I do because I know it's pulling me that much further towards my goals. And I mean, one of my goals right now is to be the absolute best BDR that I can be. I want to be someone that my team, all of my AEs, I'm in a fortunate position right now where I support all of New York mid-market, and I have about 8 AEs. So NY1 is my team. I've been given a huge opportunity to have 8 instead of 4 AEs and really take care of this patch myself. I mean, what drives me every day when I come to work is being that BDR that can step in there and help them reach their goals for the year. And by helping them reach their goals for the year, being one of the top teams in the company, and just making that impact makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that's worthy and that I'm doing something that makes me better every day. And that's not only going to set me up to be the best BDR that I can be, but it's going to set me up to be in a position where when I come up for promotion and go to be an AE, I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to have been through full sales cycles. I'm going to have being coached from 8 AEs, and that is my goal. I mean, for me, that gets me excited. Everyone's going to have a different goal. Everyone has a different ambition, but for me, it's the impact I feel that I can make, and that helps me go forward each and every day. So first thing we want to start with is write down your goals, realize what they are, get a vision, and connect with that daily, and that's going to help you to perform the job to your best of your ability. Now, that being said, that's our foundation. But now we got to go in and take a look at number 2. Number 2, we have opening pitches. We have talk tracks and objections. I mean, it's no secret that every day on our job, we're on the phones, we're making telephone calls. So we need to know what to say, we need to know how to say it, and we need to know how to handle every sort of piece of communication or every objection that a customer could have. We need to know how to communicate our product effectively so that we can generate interest and ultimately flip some of these conversations into meetings for our AEs and stage 2 pipeline, which hopefully closes for ACV for the entire business. And so, having these talk tracks down, I want to touch on this point again. It's not always just knowing the words, what to say, it's knowing how to say it. And something, when I've studied a lot of successful people here at Salesforce, they had very specific ways in which they communicated different products and spoke to different types of prospects in the industry. So something we're going to cover here in this program is making sure that you are well prepared. You know exactly how to communicate to your prospects. You know exactly how to handle all objections, and that you feel confident when you're on the phone, because when you're confident, that comes through in your voice. The customer can feel that, the prospect can feel that, and that ultimately turns into better results. Let's take a look at number 3. I mean, this is something that's huge, and I think it's highly been overlooked, but now that I reflect on it, every single sit-in I did on my first day when I came to Salesforce and throughout those first 2 weeks before I went to boot camp, I mean, I noticed something from these top performers, and I noticed that productivity was one of the main things they had going for them. They had a process in place that allowed them to be effective and efficient every day, every week, and every month, making them consistently not only hit their targets, but exceed their targets. And this is important, consistency. Not having up and down months, but consistently being successful. And I believe firmly through employing some of the best practices that you're going to learn in this program, that you will be able to achieve consistent results and consistently be a top performer. And that is truly one of the goals that Peter and I have for every single BDR, every person in this organization, and it's something that we're excited to bring this message to you for. But let's talk a little bit about that. At Salesforce, you're going to feel like you're pulled in maybe 12 different directions. You're going to have meetings coming left, right, and center. You're going to have a number of activities and extra responsibilities on top of just making your telephone calls, on top of just sending your emails out. And that's why it's so important to have an effective process. An effective process, something that is go-to for you, that you do, that you have in terms of a daily process, that you have something for weekly, and you have something to make sure you're staying on track for every single month that you're working. And all of this is going to help you guys when you think about planning and forecasting, because planning and forecasting are so important on our job. You're going to be having meetings with your managers weekly, bi-weekly sometimes, and one of their most important things is to know, where you're at. Are you going to hit this month? So being able to plan and forecast effectively are going to be 2 huge components of this productivity and process piece that we're talking about here. And something again that I noticed from all of the top performers was that they had a plan in place that allowed them to accurately forecast so that they knew exactly where they were going to be for that month, and knew exactly what they had to do well before the month ended to make sure that they hit their goals. So this is something that you want to pay special attention to. Let's take a look at number 4. And number 4, on your onboarding training, there's absolutely no question that AE relationships is going to be something that's talked about. In fact, it's going to be something that's talked about throughout your entire career. It's something I hear every single day here as a BDR. So being able to have a really good relationship with your AE is key. I mean, negotiations. You're negotiating all the time. Negotiating, you're not just negotiating with prospects to get them on the phone to take a call with your AE. You're negotiating with your AEs. Everything is a negotiation in life, whether you realize it or not. And so, this ability to negotiate is not only going to affect your ability to get an appointment for your AE, it's going to affect your ability to have pipeline. And not only that, there's something else that's very important, is that all of your AEs have different personalities. All of your AEs, if they've worked with a BDR before, have had BDRs with different personalities. And all of your AEs may have a different understanding of what stage 2 actually is. And they might have a different level of comfortability in terms of what they're willing to pipe a stage 2 opportunity at, whether they're going to pipe it at full or they're going to put it at a huge discount. And so having that ability to communicate effectively with your AE and communicate with them at a level to fully make sure that each and every single one of them have a consistent understanding of what our role is and how we can bring value to them is going to help you in that conversation. And not only that, understanding the type of AEs that you have is going to help you back with number 3. It's going to help you with your planning and forecasting, because then you will know, hey, if you have an AE that's more than likely willing to be hesitant to pipe something as full, well, when you're going into your planning for the month, then you have to take that into account with opportunities that you've sourced for that AE. So even if you don't get your way, no matter what, at the end of the day, you're always hitting your number, you've planned for it, you're prepared for it, and you're ready to exceed it. And then that comes right back into pipeline, because we are measured, yes, we're measured on ACV and how much business we're actually, that the company's closing, and that's how we get paid. That's very true. But also, what's very, very important for all of our managers is the pipeline we are producing. We are highly measured on pipeline, and the pipeline requirements are different for every vertical, whether you're in mid-market, whether you're in enterprise, whether you're in commercial. Yes, we all have different requirements, but being able to generate pipeline and being able to generate it consistently is going to come down to not just us sourcing these opportunities and flipping them to our AEs, but being able to have a great relationship with our AE, and that's going to help us with our forecasting and help us get the results that we ultimately want to achieve. Another thing that's very important that maybe we don't spend a lot of time on as a BDR, but it's product overviews. I mean, Peter and I were having a conversation about this yesterday, and it's something we do need to be able to speak at a high level across all of our product ranges. And it's so key and so important because, when you're on the phone with a prospect, you might have a look and they might say, look, we're not interested in CRM. We already have a CRM. We're not looking to do this anymore, and we might write that off as, okay, there's no opportunity here. We might go in our EBR quick notes, write it as no opportunity, but really that doesn't mean that there's no opportunity there. We do so much more than CRM. We have over 2,000 apps on the App Exchange. We can pretty much do anything that a customer needs to do, but we have to be willing to go down that path and ask them those questions to make sure that we're able to position the different areas that we do, or the different areas that we can specialize in to help them meet their needs. And so just because someone isn't interested in a CRM doesn't mean that it isn't an opportunity. There's many times where I've been able to identify something on the App Exchange that ended up turning into an opportunity and giving us an opportunity to the customer to look a little bit further about what we did and turn those into deals that actually ended up growing. And so this is why it's good to have a good high level, at least be able to speak to all the different products that we can do at a high level to help you get those opportunities that you may have not otherwise noticed. But not only that, having this high level product overview information is going to help you when you're speaking with your AEs. When you sit in with your discovery calls and your qualification calls with your AEs, having this product knowledge, you might be able to identify some of the additional products on these calls that the customer could need. And when you're having these conversations about what a deal should be piped at with your AEs, this is going to give you leverage. And it's also going to make your AE look to you as a resource that can be trusted because they see that you know your stuff and you know what you're talking about. And that's going to generate and result in higher pipeline for you. Let's take a look at number 6. This is something that we just added today before this actual recording. We thought about it, promotion. I mean, that's huge. There's so many different promotion pathways you can take at Salesforce. Not every one of you is going to want to be an AE or even a sales engineer. There's so many different opportunities. But something else that we think would be very important for BDRs is, okay, well, when do I start preparing for promotion? Who do I talk to? Who do I need to get involved in this process? How can I prepare myself accurately? Yes, all of my metrics, everything else here might be perfect. I might have, the dashboard might show that I'm an amazing person across the board and a highly desirable employee for any department and any manager. But how do I differentiate myself in the interview process? How do I present? What am I presenting? How do I put my best foot forward so that when I go into the interview, every manager there and everyone that interviews me thinks that I am a top person that they want on their team? How do I position myself that way? So we're going to be inviting people that have successfully went through this process to help you out so that you have no questions and know exactly what to do and when to do it. So that's a high-level overview of what Peter and myself hope to accomplish with all of our podcasts and all of the recordings that are going to come to follow this episode. I mean, something I want to make completely clear here is that our goal, one of our central tenet goals here for Peter is to make sure that as a BDR that you are in a position every day, every month to be to get the best that you possibly can be, to be the best person, the best BDR that you can possibly be, and never be looking at the results as, I'm not there yet. We want every single one of you to be able to hit quota, to reach your goals, and exceed it every single month. And so that's the strategies that we're going to bring to you. Not to hit it 1 month and then not know whether you're going to do it the next month or not, but to hit it every single month, to never miss quota. In fact, as the tagline that we came up with today, one of the things that I was speaking with one of my colleagues is to make it hard to miss. Okay, not hard to get to quota, but make it hard to miss, because you've done so many things right. You've done everything right that it is almost impossible for you to miss your goal. That is the objective here. And so keep this in mind as well, because this is not only going to be beneficial to you, but this is going to be beneficial to your managers. There's nothing more important to some of the managers that I've spoke about. Is just they're like, Mark, I would just wish that everyone on the team would hit quota. Everyone on the team would hit quota. And so that's what we want to do. We want to make sure, take that out of the equation. Quota is there for you guys. You've hit it. Now, let's focus on bigger and grander goals. How can I do better? How can I do more? How can I make myself into the person that I want to be? And what's the next step for me next year, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road? Thanks for listening to myself, and thanks for listening to Peter as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of the programs that we have for you guys in this series, and I hope that it helps you make your life as a BDR the best life and the best life that you possibly could ever have in that in your entire experience as a BDR. So,
and guys, just to jump in here, this is a show for you. All of these episodes, we're doing it for you. So we'd love to hear your feedback, your thoughts. Find us on Chatter or on email, mgod@salesforce.com, pnakamura@salesforce.com. Send us your comments, your feedback, topics you want to hear, because at the end of the day, we know that everybody here has it in themselves to become the best BDR that they can be. It's just we're giving you the tools to make that happen. So.
That's right. And another thing to add is this is just the beginning. Peter and I kind of just started this project out on a whim. One of our goals as well is that to hope that we know the life of a BDR is always changing. By the time you watch these videos, it might have changed. Your requirements for quota, the role might have changed. And so, we really want to challenge the next BDRs in the role to make this information not only more relevant, but make it better. The role's constantly evolving. This information is going to constantly have to evolve. And so we want to encourage and empower you to make sure that you're able to take this to the next level and make it better than what we've made it. And, without further ado, also follow us on Twitter. @Mark Gaudet, that's Mark with a C.
And @Peter Nakamura. Anyways, thanks so much for listening, guys. We're looking forward to seeing you on the other episodes. Hope you have a great day.
Cheers.